So if you like trilogy matchups, you're going to get one this year. The Steelers routed the Browns in Pittsburgh earlier, and then they lost to this one today. I actually thought they won, which, of course, just getting out of there without injury is a win. But here you go now. You have a chance to play a team for the third time. Paul Zeise, when you look at this matchup, with Roethlisberger healthy and getting a week off, I think you're going to see him go down the field a lot more. Schematically, what do they have to do to win this game against Cleveland this weekend?
Well, I mean, I think we saw in the second half with Mason Rudolph getting the ball down the field and really making those chunk plays, and they're there to be had if you can get them, if you can get that front for the Browns blocked up a little bit. I think that is how you're going to beat them. I don't think you're going to run at them and do, have a lot of success. But I do think that those things that we saw Mason Rudolph do, getting the ball down the field to Claypool and Deontay Johnson, that is going to be the formula for the Steelers to score and ultimately win the game.
100% they got to get downfield. They can't be throwing these 5-yard, 3-yard passes. I think this offense is going to have to outscore the Browns offense. The Browns offense is pretty impressive. Balanced. They got a couple good receivers, a couple good running backs. Baker Mayfield now gets a win under his belt against the Steelers. I think that's much needed confidence for him. This game's going to be close. It's not going to be easy. What worries me about this game more than anything is no Joe Hayden. That Steelers secondary is bothering me now. I mean, I like Cam Sutton. He's impressed me the last few weeks throughout this year, even last year at times. But if you're going to get Justin Lane out there, there's a big drop-off then, and that's what makes me nervous. I still think the Steelers win this game, especially with Ben Roethlisberger, but they have to be a more balanced offense. They have to do something different than what they've done the last 5 games.
I mean, I think what I saw today was much closer to what we saw the first time the Browns came here than I anticipated. I mean, think about it. Cleveland had everything to play for and needed a Mason Rudolph incomplete 2-point conversion pass with a minute and a half to go to seal it. I mean, if I'm the Steelers, I'm feeling pretty confident. You're relatively healthy, even if Hayden can't go. And, Rich, maybe I didn't watch the same offense that you watched. I think that they can run the ball effectively. And I'm more worried about the Steelers' run defense than anything else. I think if that's the only way the Browns have a chance is if they are able to get Chubb and Hunt going. But offensively, I think if they don't turn the ball over, and Ben had been very careful with the ball up until the last couple of weeks, I'm not that concerned. I mean, they didn't get a ton of chunk plays when they beat them 38-7. They just drilled them into the ground. I mean, that's where I think they're at. And to be honest with you, I mean, I think Baker first playoff start, I would have to think every intangible advantage would be towards the Steelers.
All right, well, let's look at the AFC in general now, because some very good teams and some hot teams. The Baltimore Ravens are hot, as they will have to play Tennessee, and the Buffalo Bills are hot. They're going to host Indianapolis. The Steelers can get a second home game if Buffalo loses that game. So, Paul Zeise, which is the hottest team? Let's take Kansas City out of the equation for now. They're not going to play this week, and they're certainly the elite team in this conference. But which team right now would you be wary of overall?
Well, I mean, there's a 1 and a 1A, if you ask me. The Ravens and the Bills are both hot. Both of their offenses have really started to find their rhythm. I mean, they both have been able to put up points. We can say whatever you want to say about, well, the Bills, the Ravens got a pretty easy schedule down the stretch. You still got to go out and blow those teams out, and they did. If Lamar Jackson can get over the whole, well, it's a playoff game thing, I think that team becomes very, very scary. And Josh Allen has won me over this year. I think he's legitimately a quarterback. I got to look at the bracket, but it wouldn't shock me, if it's those two standing at the end of the AFC. One of them knocks off the Chiefs. Yeah,
I think the Bills might be the best team in the AFC. That's my pick to come out of the AFC. I think they're pretty good. They've impressed me all year. It's hard to pick against the way the Ravens are playing now. They seem to have gotten their act together. So I'm with you, Paul. It's 1 and 1A for me. But I think the Bills, that's the team that I'm watching in the AFC. I think that's the team that has a chance. Well, the Ravens would play Kansas City potentially if they win that game. So that'll be a pretty good game, too. But I think the Bills are going to come out of the AFC.
I mean, think about what the Bills did today in a half. I mean, they basically said, we're just going to play Josh Allen for a half against a team that had everything to play for, everything in the world to play for, and they just killed them. They killed them. They had their third or fourth string receiver had, 2 TD receptions and a punt return for a touchdown in the first half. I mean, that is a well-coached, motivated team. They do not beat themselves. Very impressive. Tennessee and Indianapolis, I mean, Tennessee's defense is awful. Indianapolis, I mean, if you take Phil Rivers at all in the playoffs, that's on you. That's your fault. I really think it's I think they could just maybe thin things out, have the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bills and the Chiefs and just save everybody some time. That's just me.
We'll see how it goes. It all begins this weekend with 6 games, 3 on each of the days, Saturday and Sunday. When we come back, we're going to talk some hockey because the Penguins have begun training camp. They did so without Kasperi Kapanen, but they did so with a player gets a new contract. We'll talk about John Marino and his new deal next, right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Show.